Now, this is the second section of the story, the invention of VITA WONK. Okay, let us begin. Let us recapitulate what we have done a little bit. Okay, what have you written? Catatolu is actually a cross of bison and cattle which has a bison appearance. It is actually used for a hybrid for all kinds of exotic animals, pure bison and deer. Okay. So, Catatolu is actually an animal and grimalkin also. Okay. Now, come to the second section. Now, Willy Wonka has collected all these different items, all these different things for making VITA WONK, a potion which will make a person old. All over the world, Charlie, Mr. Wonka went on. I tracked down very old and ancient animals and took an important little bit of something from each one of them. A hair or an eyebrow, or sometimes it was no more than an ounce or two of the jam scraped from between its toes while it was sleeping. Okay, so between the toes a little bit of thing I took it out, so it's very dirty and gross, but this is how Willy Wonka proposes to make his special VITA WONK. I tracked down the whistle pig, the bobolink, the scroc, the polyfrog, the giant curlicue, the stinging slug and the venomous squircle, who can spit poison right into your eye from 50 yards away. But there's no time to tell you about them all now, Charlie. Let me just say quickly that in the end, after lots of boiling and bubbling and mixing and testing in my inventing room, I produced one tiny cup full of oily black liquid and gave 4 drops of it to a brave 20-year-old Oompa Loompa volunteer. Yes, Oompa Loompa is the name of those miniature men and women who used to work for Willy Wonka in his chocolate factory. Okay, so Oompa Loompas are like Lilliputian men, humans who were engaged by Mr. Willy Wonka to work at his factory. Now, he invented that potion and he gave it to one of the Oompa Loompa to see what will happen. What did happen? Charlie asked. It was fantastic, cried Mr. Wonka. The moment he swallowed it, that means the moment he swallowed the potion, he began wrinkling and shriveling up all over, and his hair started dropping off, and his teeth started falling out, and before I knew it, he had suddenly become an old fellow of 75. So, his magical potion of VITA WONK actually worked. And thus, my dear Charlie, was VITA WONK invented. So, this is how I invented VITA WONK, by mixing all the different portions from different species of animals and plants who had a very long life. Okay. And then this is how Willy Wonka makes VITA WONK, and he tests upon one of the Oompa Loompa and sees that it is a success. Okay, students, so with this we come to an end of the story. If you have any difficulty, you can ask me.